Don't you go project.
Hey, what's up everybody? This is Marshall Couture, also known as Plex in hip-hop circles, and today is day number 7 of 100 days of making paintings. So, how you guys doing? I'm doing alright. Spent a lot of time this morning, Saturday morning, get more time, just kind of experimenting, playing around. I got this email from the Sketchy app that I use sometimes, which is a really cool app I recommend, especially if you have like an iPhone or a smartphone. I think they have it on on different phone devices like Android and stuff. But Sketchy app, it's a good place to practice, really. I think basically somebody puts up it's kind of like Instagram. It looks like Instagram, but people put up pictures of themselves, and then artists go in and they'll draw those pictures. And a lot of the people are artists and they have pictures up. So I've had pictures drawn of me and stuff like that. But I don't know. I just look at it as a cool place to practice, a cool place for like when I'm like feeling kind of like I don't know what to draw. Just to get the pencil moving in my sketchbook or whatever, I'll go in there. So anyways, I'm signed up to their email list or whatever. And they sent a message for a free class over at Craftsy or something like that. It's a website. It's like a online type of school. You could just take classes or whatever, but they gave me us a free class or whatever on getting the likenesses right on people's faces and stuff when you're drawing them. Obviously it's perfectly targeted to the Sketchy app users and stuff. So I was like, yeah, I'll check it out. I mean, I kind of do pretty well with it, but there's no reason why I can't learn better. And they were saying this is like a little bit easier or faster method to make that, get the likenesses. And sometimes I do struggle with likenesses, as I talked about on these. I was trying to do James Franco the other day, and for some reason I just wasn't able to get the likeness, so I'm gonna have to try his face next. But I just was like, all right, well, let's try the techniques they talked about. And basically what it was you just gotta focus on shapes and not like trying to draw the nose and the eyes and the lips. Don't try to draw features, but focus on the shapes. And they did this really cool demonstration where they took like two people's faces that were different, definitely different, but similar enough so it wasn't too weird. But and they these were like photographs, and then they replaced one of the pictures. They replaced the eyes with the other person's eyes, and the nose with the other person's nose. And even when they replaced the mouth, nose, and eyes, it still kind of looked like the same guy. It didn't really make it look different. And so that they were making the point that if you're focusing just on the features and stuff, that's not really, that's part of where you get the likeness, but it's the overall shape of the face and everything all together in relationship to each other that really makes a person look like whoever they look like. Look like themselves, I should say. So that was really interesting. And then, I just was, basically he breaks it down where, you go from big shapes to smaller shapes, and then you just continue to like refine from there. And it's a lot easier if there's a dramatic shadow on the face and stuff. So that's one way to go about it. That's what I'm curious what tactics he would use if there wasn't a lot of shadow on the face, because all the models they use had like lots of shadow. And I've always agreed, I felt the same way. It's a lot easier to draw people when they have a dramatic shadow on their face, because it defines the forms more. So I just was like, I got inspired by that. So I went ahead and just experimented, even though it wasn't the painting I was working on. I figured, why not experiment? So I grabbed a previous picture that I already was drawing of Guru from Gangstar, and tried to draw it again, using this technique, and it was fun. It was interesting, and I think I still struggled in the similar areas that I usually do, but maybe it's because I'm not applying these principles as well yet, but I see the point of trying to do it this way, and I think I'm going to keep trying to do it this way for a little while and see if I can kind of master this technique, because like I said, I was having a hard time getting a likeness the other day, so sometimes it's really hard, sometimes it's easy, but I don't know why. But anyways, so I was playing around with this guru image, and then I was like, I did it in a watercolor page. I figured, since I'm trying to do these paintings, I can maybe turn this into like a loose, fun painting just to practice or whatever. So I figured I'd try this technique that I've seen a couple different places. Nathan Seabolt recently did it in his most recent video, and I don't know if I'm using the right stuff, but I have like this clear varnish stuff or whatever that you're supposed to paint onto your art or whatever. And I always thought that varnish was only used for when you're done with the painting. You use the varnish. Well, I have that, and I have a matte spray as well. And I didn't realize that people use that for different layers. So like I had this charcoal drawing, and I tried to use the regular varnish with the paintbrush. You might see it in the video, but it started to smudge. So that wasn't working with the brush, so I used the spray-on one instead, and that did work. And I noticed after I sprayed it, I couldn't smudge it anymore. So that's kind of cool to seal in the drawing underneath. You can use these varnishes or whatever, or I don't know what all the words are called for them, but so, and then you paint on top of that, I guess. So I haven't tried to paint on top of this drawing yet, but I'm going to see how it works. I'm doing a lot of experimenting, because I'm learning. So then I did that, and it's still kind of drying, I guess. I don't know. It dried already, but it stinks. Like, it's really smelly. So I don't know if that'll go away or not, but I left it outside even though it's cold. Actually, it's starting to snow, so I need to take that in. But so that's drying. But then I was like, all right, I need to get some painting going though. So I did that, and I started working more on these the self-portrait. So I went in and mostly flatted it out, did the base colors or whatever. I started to add a little bit of value eventually, but for the most part I just did the base painting, I guess. And man, I tell you, and I know this is how most people feel, even when they're accomplished painters. They feel this way when they get like midway or partially through a painting. I kind of feel like I suck, and I don't know what I'm doing, and what am I doing trying this? I barely know what I'm doing or whatever. So that's where I'm at right now. I mean, I kind of like how it's coming out so far, but like I said, I have those self-conscious feelings going on, and I even was doing like hash marks and stuff with my brush because I'm just so used to drawing instead of painting, and I don't even know how to blend watercolors necessarily. And I know there's techniques of using a more wet surface, and I didn't really go through that. I just started plopping paint down, so it's kind of splotchy. So I don't know, there might not be a way back from that, but I got all these photocopies that I can use, and I can just redo this painting over and over till I get one I like or whatever. I don't care, but I probably should try to see this one to the finish, even if it kind of sucks, because it's good to just keep finishing things. It's a really good practice that we can get into as artists, because a lot of us get paralyzed and let things sit and never finish them. And if you get really bad at it, you have like a ton of stuff that's begun but never finished, and that's not good. So it's good practice just to finish stuff, just for the learning purpose even. So I'm gonna try to finish this, and I mean, not today probably, but I'm gonna try to finish all these paintings that I do. even if they're not, the 100%. But there's another aspect too, is like in your sketchbook, sometimes it's okay not to finish, like if you're, because the sketchbook is not meant to be finished drawings. I mean, a lot of times you'll see on YouTube, you'll see people flipping through their sketchbooks, and it's really cool to look, and it's like a bunch of finished drawings and stuff. But it's really, and I like how Jake Parker put it, it's like your design and development section of a company or whatever. Like that's what your sketchbook is, where you play around and you find happy accidents and you stumble across good things, and then you see you have a lot of bad drawings in there too. And it's just a good place to just be comfortable, like a sandbox. You got to be, you just like, I don't know why I said sandbox, but you just got to be, fearless. And Dee Dee Willingham put that in one of her books too one time. Like I was watching one of her videos, and she just wrote fearless in there with like some designs, and I think it was fearless. But like I like that attitude, just go in there, and play around. Don't be afraid. And that's the attitude I think you need to approach sketchbooks with. And you can have unfinished art in there. And even in finished paintings and stuff, you kind of got to go that route, especially when you're new and you don't know what you're doing, Because if I just sit there and get paralyzed by fear, I'll never get anywhere. So yeah, that's about it. That's what I was thinking today. And also just thinking about some marketing things and possible things I can do to get my art out there. And I really need to kind of overhaul my website and have it so it's focused on specific products, and like I'm not sure exactly what I want to offer yet. I'm thinking commissions and my beats, and just whatever I'm creating, my paintings and stuff, I guess is the product, but I don't have much there for that yet. But I want to just get my website really like streamlined to the point where everything's obvious, and simple. So I don't know, and I want to like get my branding better, because I like do too many things, and it's hard to brand because I do my music, my art, and a whole bunch of different variations of those two things. So I don't know, just thinking hard about that. And I was doing the GTS movement. It's like this marketing group. They sell beats and stuff and teach other people how to sell beats. I was in a hangout with them today, and they were kind of giving me some cool ideas. So I'm going to start trying to take action on some of that stuff, because I think it's important, to try different techniques and see what you can come up with to figure out how to make a living with this stuff, because that's my goal, like I said in the determined video, and it's not my end goal, it's just where I want to get to continue to progress. My end goal is to just continue to do all this creative stuff, and if I can do it for a living, that makes it even better, because I'm using my strengths instead of making a living with stuff that's not really my strength. So yeah, that's about it. Anyways, hope you guys are having an awesome weekend, and I'll talk to you on the next 100 days of painting. And tomorrow, just a little announcement, I'm going to be doing a hangout early in the morning, Eastern time, 9 o'clock Eastern time a.m. With Peter Palmiotti. I'm going to do a hangout. It's going to be live, and we're basically going to be recording my podcast for the week. So if you want to check into that live, check that out. If not, it will be on YouTube and on my site, donkeyjawprojects.com, in the podcast section shortly thereafter. So that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. You guys are awesome. Thanks for all the comments too. I got a lot of suggestions on people who are experienced painters and stuff, or who have some techniques. Kevin Cross, shout out to Kevin Cross. He showed me some, or talked to me about some techniques. Jay Ferguson, Eddie Crosby. So thanks, guys, a lot for those, and I'm going to be trying some of those techniques out. I couldn't find it. I know I have some tracing paper here, but that was one of the suggestions that Jay Ferguson had, and I was looking for that this morning. I haven't found it. I might have to go out and buy some. But tracing paper is a good way, I guess, to transfer your drawing over. So we shall see. But thank you guys for watching and enjoying, and I will talk to you on the next episode. Later.
Say, I'm rapping donkey jaw.
Cookie donkey jaw.